listen up. Court full of clowns, Mingus shines on the throne. But he wearing a crown of thorns. A true in the building, drunk as hell, but sharp as a blade. Ludicrous flow, let me paint the charade. I'm drunk, walking stupid, talking reckless, who gon' stop me? Minister coming, man, I don't care, just hop me. Emperor hitting, sleeping mind, cloudy, straight sloppy, but when you pull up, kneel, I'm on all fours, don't at me. Drunk, but I see the truth, homie. Holy empire run by one unit, that's the joke, boy. Yeah, Mingy's hands on chillin', think he running the main. But Wayne's he got the keys, pulling every string. Wayne you shin wrong, evil trio terrorizing the scene. Whole country scared, silent, living in a bad dream. Enter H.I., emperor's favorite food. Funny as hell, but that tongue got a deadly tool. Stage a play called Drunk, theatrical gas. Whole court laughing while he exposing their ass. He's stumbling on stage, eyes red, words slurred, spitting nonsense. Whole audience hollering and stirred. Passers-by roll a minister coming clear the way. A 2-point laugh, who the hell is he anyway? Black dog, white dog, big wig, small fish. I was here first, move around me, do the twist. I'm drunk, walking stupid, talking reckless, who gon' stop me? Minister coming, man, I don't care, just hop me. Emperor here, he sleeping mind, cloudy, straight sloppy. But Wayne just pull up, kneel, I'm on all fours, don't at me. Drunk, but I see the truth, homie. Whole empire run by one unit, that's the joke, boy. Passes by again, the emperor arriving, bow down. A true fallout laughing, that man still dreaming now. My eyes so clouded, he drunker than me on the stage. Trusting snakes and silk rolls while the people get played. Last announcement hit, voice drop low and cold. Wang's is coming. Whole crowd freeze, Acho hit the floor, boom. Knees kissing the wood, trembling, begging, please sir, I ain't mean no good. Facing the dirt, ass in the sky, straight surrender. Emperor sitting there, message couldn't be clearer. One drunk unit with a whole lot of courage told the truth in code, turned the play to a mirror while the big dogs bark. The little fool bit exposed the puppet master running all of it. Yeah, Acho drunk, book wide awake. Ludicrous flow, history lesson with the bass shake. Emperor got the message, hope he woke up quick. Cause when the real drunk run the country, that's the toxic shit, yeah. That's the toxic shit, yeah. That's the toxic shit, yeah.
To manage, guide, or caution individuals whose rank or role prevents them from facing direct confrontation, employ analogy and subtle hints. When names are not mentioned explicitly, those being accused cannot respond without exposing their involvement. There are 3 essential techniques for firefighting: direct, indirect, and parallel. When President Xi Jinping meets with the Prime Minister of Spain and emphasizes the necessity for global cooperation to prevent a regression to a lawless, power-driven world, he is indeed making a significant point. At first glance, the Mulberry Tree he references appears to be merely a vague idea, a disorderly anarchic realm where strength dictates justice. However, the true target of his criticism, the locust tree he condemns, is the United States along with its Western partners. Rather than explicitly naming America and potentially causing a significant diplomatic fallout, China employs this type of language to counter what it perceives as US dominance, unilateral sanctions, and global supremacy. By centering the criticism on universal concepts such as international law and genuine multilateralism during discussions with a European leader, China can garner support and convey its message clearly to Washington without mentioning their name directly. This is a typical, astute diplomatic tactic that aligns seamlessly with ancient strategies. An article from 36KR examines how NIO's electric vehicle sales have surpassed those of its strong competitor, Li Auto, for the first time in almost 2 years. The success is primarily attributed to the strategic decisions made by a particular executive or a discrete maneuver that benefited NIO's founder, Li Bin. When you adopt the approach of criticizing the locust tree while highlighting the mulberry tree, it's essential to observe how these rival Chinese EV companies engage in their public relations and marketing battles. In this sector, CEOs frequently express fervent public grievances regarding overarching market issues, unethical business practices, or the absence of genuine technological advancements. At first glance, they seem to be pointing at the mulberry tree of broad industry norms or unidentified competitors who take shortcuts. However, everyone in the tech and automotive industries is well aware of the specific rival brand they are subtly targeting. By employing this approach, a company such as NIO can showcase its own innovations while discreetly pointing out the flaws of its competitors without directly naming them. This allows them to influence public opinion, win over consumers, and tarnish their rival's image, all while appearing untainted and upholding a sense of professional excellence. It mirrors the corporate adaptation of an age-old strategy. Mulberry algorithm. The fundamental concept behind the algorithm is inoculation and deflection. Rather than confronting the lie directly, the AI reveals the underlying mechanisms of the lie through safe parallel examples, thereby immunizing the public and indirectly removing the threat. 1. Data ingestion and threat cluster mapping, locating the locust tree. The AI persistently monitors social media platforms, detecting surges in coordinated inauthentic behavior, CIB, and newly emerging deepfakes. The AI technology, graph neural networks, GNNs, and multimodal transformers. The response, instead of promptly enforcing a public ban, the system outlines the locust tree, the central narrative, the psychological triggers employed such as fear and tribalism, and the networks of distribution bots. 2. Generative analogy synthesis, creating the mulberry tree. Once a harmful deepfake narrative is detected, for example, a doctored video showing a politician taking a bribe, a large language model, LLM pipeline examines its precise psychological and structural components. The AI technology, highly refined large language models, LLMs, that possess advanced semantic abstraction skills. The response, the AI creates a completely imaginary, non-political, and highly entertaining analogy called Mulberry. For example, it produces a comical, clearly fake video featuring a beloved cartoon character or a fictional CEO taking a bribe, while utilizing the same deepfake artifacts, lighting errors, and audio cloning indicators as the original malicious video. 3. Pre-bunking and algorithmic inoculation, pointing at the mulberry. Rather than countering the genuine deepfake through debate, the platform's recommendation system actively promotes the mulberry content to users who are gravitating towards echo chambers where misinformation is proliferating. The AI technology, contextual recommendation engines, and gamified AI agents. The engagement, users engage with the mulberry content. An interactive AI prompt states, "Did you notice the audio loop at 0:12? That's an AI cloning artifact." Here, how to identify it. By educating users on how to recognize the deception in a safe, neutral environment like the mulberry tree, they become adept at spotting it when they come across the actual locust tree. 4. Semantic drift tracking and echo chamber dilution, cursing the locust. As users gain knowledge about the trick through the mulberry tree, they instinctively carry that skepticism over to the locust tree. The AI tech, natural language processing, NLP, sentiment, and stance detection. The punchline, when a user encounters the authentic deepfake, rather than a blunt, "This is fake" warning banner, which tends to provoke backlash, the AI cleverly highlights top comments from informed users or automated accounts that state, "Notice the lighting on the neck, it mirrors the exact artifact pattern we observed in yesterday's viral CEO video." By pointing out the structural flaw of the mulberry, the credibility of the locust tree crumbles under its own weight. Considering the real-world case from the database, where a deepfake voice imitation of Joe Biden was utilized in robocalls to deceive New Hampshire voters into not voting, our mulberry algorithm would approach it in a way that is entirely different from conventional tech platforms. Rather than waiting for the phony audio to gain traction and then applying a dull fact-check label, which often leads to more arguments, our AI would quickly identify the technical markers of that voice clone. It would detect the unique glitches and the psychological tactic employed, which was urging people to save their vote. Subsequently, the AI would swiftly create a completely harmless and amusing imitation. Picture an AI-generated voice resembling someone like Taylor Swift or Morgan Freeman delivering a silly message, such as, "Hey everyone, hold off on eating pizza this Tuesday." The important part is that this faux pop culture audio would mimic the same digital errors and robotic pauses found in a poorly made political robocall. Subsequently, the algorithm would share this amusing pizza clip with everyone in that area. People would tune in, chuckle, and the app would provide them with a brief tip such as, "Hey, did you catch that strange robotic pause at the 8-second mark? That's a clue for identifying a voice clone." By highlighting the innocent mulberry tree, our amusing pizza clip, the audience receives an instant alert about how the trick operates. Thus, later that day, when the genuine harmful political call comes through on their phones, individuals aren't deceived at all. They quickly recognize the identical digital flaw and think, ah, this is just like that voice cloning trick I encountered earlier. By teaching people using a harmless analogy, the actual disinformation effort entirely diminishes in effectiveness, without the platform needing to censor anyone or spark a major political debate. To gain an edge over those you feel you can't confront directly, inform others of the so-called real truth, which you can fabricate, ensuring it portrays them negatively if necessary. Share your views on your opposition with your own partners, so that the truth doesn't appear to originate from you.